So after making the Augustus first look video discussing some of the hero combos that could work with him, a couple of you reached out and mentioned that this skill is dumb and kind of want to talk about it a little bit.
It's only a game. Why you have to be mad?
What is up, heroes of Dominion? My name is Charlie. This is Hero War Central, and in this video I want to talk a little bit about magic defense and armor and how it actually works. And this is meant to be a discussion about Augustus's violet skill, but it's also a nice discussion about how armor and magic penetration and armor penetration and magic defense and pure damage work as a whole. First of all, armor and magic defense you can stack forever. All right, you can stack as much armor and magic defense as you want. For every 3,000 armor or magic defense, you reduce the damage dealt to you by those types by 50%. So if you have an enemy that's got 3,000 armor and you attack into them with a 100 point damage physical attack, that will be reduced by half because of the 3,000 armor. That is a 500 damage attack. That makes sense. Okay, at 9,000 armor, at 9,000 magic defense, there is a 75% mitigation of that damage. So the same enemy, if I attack into them with 100 damage, I'm only doing 25 damage. It's 75% less than 100. Does that make sense? Yes, that's how the damage mitigation works for armor and magic defense. Okay, and whenever you stack armor and magic defense artifacts, that can go high, it can go low. It can never reach 100% resistance. The way that the curve works, and this is directly from Hero Wars databases, this picture. The way that the curve works is it will keep going up and up and up and up and up forever, but it will never reach 100% reduction. Now, the way that armor penetration and magic penetration work, it's just a subtraction. Okay, so enemy has 9,000 armor. Okay, 9,000 armor. You hit them with an attack of the applicable amount. The damage is reduced by 75% because they have 9,000. However, you have 6,000 magic penetration or armor penetration, whichever attack you're using. So 9,000 minus 6,000 brings you down to 3,000 armor or magic defense, and then the reduction is 50% instead of 75%. Okay, if you have more armor penetration than the enemy has armor, if you have more magic penetration than the enemy has magic defense, their defenses against that attack is reduced to 0, and you deal the full amount of damage. Okay, does that make sense? Enemy has 9,000 magic defense. I've got 10,000 magic penetration. I'm doing full magic damage. So magic attack, physical attack, that can scale forever, and it's always valuable. Armor penetration and magic penetration are only good to a certain point. Once you have more penetration stat than all of the other enemy heroes, it stops being good. They call it diminishing returns. Of course, armor and magic defense can go up with artifact weapons, so you'll never actually reach that diminishing returns number. You can never have too much armor and magic penetration because the enemy might have 3 magic defense artifacts on their team, or 3 armor artifacts in some cases, or other mitigation methods that will reduce the damage outside of armor and magic defense. So that takes us back to this ability right here, super conductivity. Augustus attacks apply an ability that reduces magic defense. That's the first part. The second part is the important part. If a target under super conductivity takes magic damage that bypasses their magic defense, they take pure damage instead. Reading the ability, if a target afflicted by super conductivity takes magic damage that fully penetrates their magic defense, they take pure damage instead. So let's compare the two. Let's think about this logically a little bit. If I'm dealing magic damage and I have enough magic penetration that all of my damage is getting through, okay, 100% of my magic damage is getting through because I have enough magic penetration. The reason why pure damage, the third damage type, that is the white damage numbers whenever you're in combat, the reason why pure damage is so good with heroes like, for example, Heidi has this green, you see the green number in the skills indicate pure damage. Okay, green number, pure damage. The reason why pure damage is so good is because it ignores armor. It ignores magic defense. So then the question that was posed to me first by Casual Credit Gaming, big shout out there. If you have enough magic penetration that you're fully ignoring the magic defense anyway, why does it matter that it's pure damage. And I have a couple of reasons why it might matter, though it might not matter in enough situations that this is actually good. We'll have to wait and see. Obviously, it's going to be very, very server dependent. The first and foremost reason why this might matter is Isaac. Now, the big thing about Isaac, and maybe the whole reason why this is the case, Isaac is a support hero that gains charge whenever him or his allies take magic damage. If the damage is pure damage, he doesn't gain charge. Does that make sense? So Augustus, a mage, attacking into a team with Isaac might not actually get charged as quickly as another mage attacking into Isaac, like Celeste or Orion or Satori or any of the other, dozens of mages. If the magic penetration is fully penetrating Isaac's magic defense and his allies, Isaac isn't gaining any charge, so he can't use his area of effect silence ability. He can't do a ton of damage with this, and he can't stack his armor penetration artifact very well. So it could be a way to kind of get around Isaac teams being a hard counter to Augustus. I think that's definitely one possibility. When it comes to pets, there are actually two possibilities. First of all, Bubbles of Justice is a fantastic team pet ability that distributes damage, but only physical and magic damage. If the damage is pure damage, Axel doesn't do anything for the team. It doesn't spread the damage out. It doesn't disperse the damage. That's why Axel isn't an effective pet against certain attacking lines, certain defensive lines, because they're all pure damage, not the physical or magic damage. So that could be one thing. Another thing on the offensive side is Albus. Okay, Albus's team ability, his team pet ability, deals pure damage based on the amount of pure damage that your team does in a 3-second window. So if Augustus's damage and potentially other heroes in your team's damage is pure damage, that can add to Albus's damage output. Another thing that Casual Credit Gaming pointed out to me about this skill is the way that it's worded. If a target afflicted by superconductivity takes magic damage that fully penetrates their magic defense, they take pure damage instead. We had assumed that this is Augustus dealing pure damage. It looks like that all heroes that deal magic damage, if they fully penetrate the enemy, all heroes' magic damage will be converted to pure damage against that target. Does that make sense? So if the enemy target tank has 0 magic defense, then all magic damage done to that tank is then converted into pure damage. Okay, so that could be something that could be stacked into Albus pretty heavily, and then Albus has this big hit, and away you go. So the third big reason why I think that this could be beneficial has a lot to do, I think, unfortunately, to this guy, the new boss in the city of Asgard, Maestro. Okay, we don't really see it just yet. I'm not clear on it just yet, but my big concern, my big problem is that this hero is going to be one of the key heroes to use against the Maestro boss fight in City of Asgard. I don't see it because really any magic damage is good as well, and you're never going to fully penetrate the magic defense of the boss and his sub-minions. So converting that into pure damage, I don't see that being effective, but it is possible that some of Augustus's other abilities mixed with some other hero here and there ends up being incredibly strong against this, and in fact makes it so you can take down the horn and the harp very quickly because all of Augustus's abilities are splash damage. Okay, I think Augustus is also going to be incredibly effective against Ash the Eternal Keeper. I think Augustus is going to be so strong against Ash because of the way that he hits multiple targets at once with pure damage, and of course Albus does a ton of damage output. I think that possibly Augustus is going to be better than Lara Croft, and Augustus has been added to the game to kind of make a segue for those of us that don't have Lara Croft. Remember, Lara Croft was a limited time only collaboration that if you didn't get Lara Croft, you can never get Lara Croft in the game. Well, I don't know that that's going to be true. I think there are going to be more options for Lara in the future. I think it's very possible that Augustus can replace Lara Croft in this team. Of course, I don't have a maxed Augustus test. There are some people currently simming it. I'd love to see some of that data if they could share it with us. But these teams are regularly getting 500 million damage without too much extensive manual play, and they feature heavily Albus using his big ult after your team does a ton of pure damage, mostly through critical hits from Sebastian's pure damage, from Isaac's pure damage, and all of that. But what if it's just that, now that your big damage dealer, Augustus, is doing all pure damage? How much would that add to Albus's damage output? So I think that him having a pure damage version of a magic damage that would be full damage anyway. I think that there's a lot of possibilities as to why. Maybe we're just not quite seeing it yet, but at second look, this does seem like a pretty useless ability. But I think that we might be missing just something, and I think that I might have mentioned it in this video, or at least part of it in this video. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think. Have you been testing Augustus at all? You can go test Augustus right now in max testing. You can go test him right now. You can test him against your favorite teams, in your favorite teams. Just go create a hero battle, switch it to maximum, and there he is right there. Boom. You can add him to a team. You can add him to a fight. You can try different things out. Try him out. Let me know what you guys find. I love you all. Good luck in Dominion.